Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Espresso with me, Darius Lunchauskas. Today's the 6th of June 2018. So welcome everyone. Today's Wednesday. So let's have a look at the markets. What happened yesterday? What levels to watch out for today? Today I will touch mainly on the currency pairs. So in this session it's going to be only the currency pairs. So I hope you're going to find this useful. So for now, before we jump into the charts, quickly let's have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content of this webinar does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. So a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Also, a very quick reminder of our JFD Brokers research page here, where you can go in and have a look at different analysis that we do on a daily basis. We throw out different trading shoutouts, and of course check out our daily analysis that we we post on every morning. So it's going to come out soon. So yeah, feel free guys to check us out. But right now, let's have a look at the charts. So the first one I'll start looking at is the euro dollar. Okay, so a very interesting picture here. So overall, we can see that the pair is getting held here by this upwards moving trend line here that started around January time 2017. So now we can see that we had a nice bounce last week, made it to the upside. We tested this downwards moving resistance line, the short-term downwards moving resistance line. We broke it to the upside, and now we're currently sitting around here, slightly below this level that I was talking about in my previous videos, the 117,500, also slightly below the 21 EMA here, shown as the yellow line. So for now, of course, we're very careful on this one, because if we do get a good pop here to the upside, well then yes, I mean then we could expect this pair maybe moving a little bit higher again, maybe testing this 118 to 50 area approximately there, and then maybe eventually breaking it again and moving higher. So but for now, until we have seen a nice break here at around this area with the 117,500, we're gonna remain kind of neutral, let's say more neutral, because we could get a reversal back down here, and if we do get something like this, then well, watch out for this 116,500 again. Actually yesterday it acted as almost a good level of support here. Well, this area acted as a good level of support. If we start breaking that to the downside, well, I mean, this is not looking good for the euro. Then we could end up moving towards this upwards moving trend line that I've just mentioned previously. We could start testing that one again. And then of course we'll have to evaluate it there and see if it wants to break it or not, or if it wants to bounce back to the upside. So but for now, stay sharp. Keep an eye on this little range here, this 100 pip range between the 117,500 and the 116,500. So keep an eye and let's see where it wants to break. Also, just to kind of quickly mention, if we start breaking this one to the upside, we do have this another good line, this downwards moving trend line running here. So eventually, for us to see like a full recovery to that one, we need to start breaking these levels that I've just mentioned to you guys. Let's quickly have a look at the EURJPY. Now EURJPY is one of my favorite annoying pairs. I mean, to be honest, it's really difficult to predict what it wants to do. It seems like one day it wants to continue pushing higher, but then actually the next day it's reversing. So for now, I would say keep a careful eye on it. Watch out for these levels here. So this level that I'm watching here is the 0.88100. If we see a nice break above here, we could end up moving higher, maybe towards this 0.88300, and then eventually towards 0.88450. But for those two levels, I mean, we need to see a nice break here above the 0.88100. Of course, if we start breaking all of them, well, I mean, this could open the path towards this upper bound of the downwards moving channel that the pair is still within. So it is a strong channel here running. This channel is running, by the way, since like October last year. So for now, we can see that the pair is kind of continues to respect that channel and continues to trade within. On the downside, we would need to see a nice move here below the 0.87 mark in order to consider further declines. Certainly, if we do get a break here below this level, watch out for the 0.86800. This could be a good level of support as well. And certainly, I mean, if we do continue breaking it, well, then, like I said, this could open the path towards this lower bound of the rising channel, or sorry, falling channel. So for now, like I said, guys, keep a careful eye on this one because it's very tricky. We need to see a better, clear direction from this one, so we're just staying neutral on that one. Looking at the EURJPY, and the EURJPY continues to push higher here. We can see the yen weakening, and currently, of course, we're getting held here by this 21 EMA, shown here as the yellow line. We're not far from this area that I've got highlighted here. And just to kind of remind you, this trend line here that's running, this is kind of a more of flattish upwards moving trend line that's running from August 2017. So if we manage to get above this 21 EMA, well, we could end up testing this trend line from underneath. And of course, if we start breaking that one, well, this could be seen as a bullish sign, and we could end up pushing higher here and maybe even testing this downwards moving trend line that has been running since February this year. So we could end up testing that one from underneath. So, but for that, of course, we would need to see a nice break here above this upwards moving trend line. Certainly, if this 21 EMA continues to hold and we then eventually see a reversal, well, watch out for this level here, the 127.60 approximately there, next potential area of support. And if that doesn't hold, well, we could end up pushing lower here, maybe even going towards this next area of support at around 125.85 approximately there. So for now, guys, I mean, certainly the momentum is more to the upside, but again, like I said, don't underestimate these EMAs here. So especially this 21 EMA. Let's have a look at the EUROCAD. Now that's an interesting one. So we're still within this downwards moving channel, and this channel has been running since March this year. So initially, of course, yesterday we saw a nice push here to the upside, but we kind of broke this channel to the upside, but then actually closed below it, and now we're seeing this bearish daily candle forming, certainly pushing away from the upper bound of the downwards moving channel. Of course, we can see that we do have this 21 EMA here not far, so we could end up moving lower here, testing that 21 EMA, and of course the pair will have to decide then what it wants to do. Does it want to continue pushing lower, or is this going to act as a good bouncing ground for this pair, and we could actually end up moving higher then again and eventually breaking this downwards moving channel. So, but for now, certainly stay sharp. I mean, for now, we're kind of keep on monitoring this one, because we need to see a clear break above this upper bound of the downwards moving channel in order to kind of consider further upside moves. Certainly on the upside here, if we do get a break, we could aim for the 153 approximately there, and then we could end up testing this upwards moving trend line from underneath that has been running for quite a while here, and that has been running since February last year. We could end up testing that one, and if the momentum, of course, is going to continue to the upside, then, well, we could end up breaking it and moving higher. But let's, of course, not get ahead of ourselves too much, and let's see if it wants to break this downwards moving channel first. If, to be honest, I mean, we start moving below this 21 EMA, I mean, then probably we could see this more as a bearish sign, and we could end up moving towards this level right here, this maybe psychological 150 mark, for another test of it. And if it doesn't hold, well, I mean, we do have some room here in this downwards moving channel, and we could end up moving lower here, maybe even actually as low as like testing the lower bound of this channel. Let's quickly have a look at GBP USD, and the GBP USD, of course, is slightly looking better than the euro, and we are currently testing this 21 EMA. We've closed, I was talking about this level here yesterday, the 133.90. we closed above it, and now we're, like I said, we're testing this 21 EMA. Certainly if this momentum is going to continue to the upside, then keep an eye on this next level here, the 134.55. I was talking about this level in my previous videos, so a good level to watch, the 134.55. a break above that could send this pair higher towards this 200 EMA, which is not far from the 136.15 mark as well, so just slightly below it, of course. If the 21 EMA holds, or even actually the 134.55 level holds, then, well, stay sharp, because we could maybe end up selling off here again a little bit. Certainly if we start breaking this 133 mark again, that could be seen as more of a bearish sign, and we could send the pair lower towards this, towards last week's lows at around 132.05, approximately there. So for now, guys, keep an eye on it. Certainly, like I said, at the moment it's looking more bullish than bearish, but then again, like I said, anything could change, and it's still early in the morning, and yeah, watch out. Let's quickly touch on the Aussie dollar, and the Aussie dollar is currently testing this upwards moving trend line that I was talking about in my previous videos. This trend line has been running for quite a while now, since around January 2016, so we're testing that trend line from underneath now. And of course, the key, the most important question is going to be, like, are we going to break it or not? I mean, are we going to get above it? If we do get above it, and especially if we do get a close today above this trend line, then, well, this could be seen as a bullish sign, and we could end up pushing higher here towards the next good level of resistance at around the 0.77250. Then, of course, if that doesn't hold, we have the 200 EMA here. We can see that in the past the 200 EMA acted as a good level of resistance and support, and then resistance again. So watch out for that one, guys. I mean, if of course, certainly if we start breaking it higher, then yeah, I mean, we do have some better levels on above here, but for now, like I said, let's just keep it kind of short term, and let's see if we're gonna actually get above this long-term upwards moving trend line or not. Certainly if this continues to hold and we start moving lower, watch out for this level here, the 0.76450, approximately here. Keep an eye on this level. I mean, a break below that could send this pair to test this key area, the 0.75900, approximately there. Now a break below that could, of course, open the path towards this little short-term upwards moving support line that we could end up testing, but only testing if we get a nice break here below the 0.75900. So for now, guys, of course, the downside is more kind of slightly off the table, but keep a close eye on this area, this highlighted area. Looking at the USD JPY now quickly. So the USD JPY is a tricky one, still balancing below the 110. We need to see a nice good close above the psychological 110, and then maybe actually a better one, better close above the 200 EMA here, shown as the black line, in order to kind of consider further upside moves. But for now, we're staying very cautious. We're not far from this long-term upwards moving trend line that has been running for quite a while now, to be honest. I mean, let's go back here. It's October, end of September, beginning of October 2012. So quite an important upwards moving trend line here. We can see that we kind of broke it to the upside, then kind of broke it to the downside again. So it keeps on like acting as a good magnet for this pair. And for now, just we're going to continue observing it and wait and for a better, clear move. Quickly, let's touch on the USD CAD. Now, USD CAD is, to be honest, slightly annoying. And yesterday I was talking about this one, and I said, like, keep an eye on the psychological 130. A break above that could open the path towards the 130-500, and it did. And we've managed to move to the 130-500, but then we can see the strong reversal back down, and then like today we're now testing this downwards moving trend line again, or we could say that the upper side of the triangle formation. I mean, of course, it's difficult to predict with such price action. I mean, it's difficult to predict where it wants to head now. Certainly, until it gets below this trend line, then we're just gonna stay neutral. I mean, if it gets below it and it closes below it, then well, this could maybe look ugly for this pair again, and then we could see maybe another move lower. But if this is only just a small correction to the downside, and we're gonna have another attempt of the psychological 130, well, I mean, let's keep an eye on it, because like I said, with this choppy action, I mean, like I said, it's quite difficult to predict where it wants to go. Okay, guys, I'm running out of time as always, so I have to wrap it up here. And thank you very much for listening and watching. And I hope you found this useful, and I hope you gonna join me later on in my Traders Tea Time at 13:15 British GMT time, 14:15 British Summer Time. But for now, keep an eye on the price action, and thank you very much. Bye bye.